Hello, hello, and welcome to Code with our session with Codingville. Today, we are going to do some coding with logics, and hopefully, lots of classes will be joining us today live. Martin, why don't you start with introducing yourself?
Yes, for sure. My name is Martin Peltier, and I'm part of the extended team here at Academy. I'm based out of Moncton, New Brunswick, and it's a real pleasure to be with you today. And I'm with my co-host Cami. If you want to introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm going to be like the talking voice ghost today. My camera all of a sudden is not working. And so I am Mrs. Cannikins. I'm from Alberta. And we have our first cold snap of the season here. And yes, Martin and I are both happy to come and join you from Logix, where we do lots of work with Codingville. Martin, why don't you take us into a land acknowledgement this morning?
Yes, for sure. So because I'm on the east coast of the nice country that we live on, I'm gonna do something that recognizes the land that I am on at the moment. So I'd like to begin by acknowledging that I'm on the land that which we gather here today is the traditional unceded territory of the Wolastoq and Mi'kmaq people, and I'm so grateful to. Uh, Learn on this land, to went to the schools on this land, and then being able to go to university on this land as well. And right now, as the colors are almost for us, it's almost done. The colors are changing. The leaves are all gone now. We're almost in the transition in the new period, which is the winter one when with the snow. And I love the snow, and I can't wait to go outside and play in the snow with my kids. So we're really lucky to be on this land, and I really encourage you to go and create your own land acknowledgement if you want. There's a great website here, native-land.ca, where you can go and create your own land acknowledgement.
Thank you, Martin. And I always love working with people from across Canada because we get to compare the weather and the seasons. And our leaves from our trees are gone. And this week, winter definitely came to join us. So at Logix Academy here, we love to be able to provide sessions for classes. We do lots with coding and robotics and all sorts of technology. And we are a proud partner of Microsoft and Google and Apple and Minecraft and Canva and lots of other coding tools. And so lots of those are sponsors for us today. If you have more questions or want to find out more, logixacademy.com. We also have lots of technology and STEM tools that you might be interested in for your classroom. Now, speaking of those very STEM tools, one of the things that Logix does is we have a whole big warehouse of robots that we sell and that teachers and schools can buy. And today, if you have registered and you join today live with your class, or you watch the recording afterwards with your class, I think, is there a December 3rd deadline with this one? I can't remember for sure, Martin. But
I'm
if you
yeah.
fill out the form that we're going to give you at the end, you will be registered for a robot. You can win a robot. That's the one. That's the student form. So I'm not. I don't know if that's the one that we'll use for today. Was that the one for the robot
That
one?
no, the form for the robot one.
That
If you
comes at the
log
end.
in and watch with your class, and you've registered and you connect yourself live, you're automatically in Cami.
Okay, if you've
So
registered. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
So for this form, you can see the format over here didn't really show up great when I put my presentation into the software that we use here. But I put the banner here on the banner, the form, because we can't see you, or we can't hear you. But we'd like to know where you're from. Maybe just put in your first name, and maybe the school you're from, maybe the province, or even if you want to put sorry, the city that you're from, and we'd like to hear from you and maybe connect with you because we can maybe say a little hi or something, and we'll ask you some questions along the way. And if you want to answer them in this form, you're more than welcome to. And another recommendation maybe is teachers maybe have this on a big screen in front of your class where your students can see it, and if they can have devices with them, they can work in partners. You'll see we'll have a little uh, we'll talk about a little not hands-on but unplugged activities that we can do. So we'll be talking about those soon, and then we'll get to the coding part. So if you want to reach out, please do so in the form below, and we'll go on with our presentation today. The first thing that the teachers will need to do in at any time, for sorry I forgot to say, this is a YouTube live. So at any time, teachers, if you need to pause or this is going too fast, do not hesitate, press pause, and go to help the students, go do the stuff you have to do as a teacher, and then you can also come back at any time. So the first thing that you will need to do, teachers, is create an account. So you will have to create an account. And when you create that account, you will have to assign tasks to your students. And we'll go quickly to our, I'll switch screens quickly just to show you what it looks like. There we go. Thank you, Cami. So here you see that I'm on my teacher dashboard. I have different classes, and the class that I'm going to be using today is the November 22nd. I know we're not November 22nd, but it is a class that I used, created last week. So what I'll do at this time is you need to assign things to your students. So what we'll be assigning today is hidden into journeys over here. So you will have to click the coding using block. We'll have to assign this one. And you see I have a few classes, so make sure you select the right one. Assign. As if you don't assign those to your students, they won't have anything to work with. And we can maybe assign this one as well. Over here.
What's the name? What was the name of that one, Martin?
Sorry, I'm gonna do it again.
So we've got the Codingville journey.
Yes, Codingville journey, coding using blocks. And then we'll assign as well maybe the from blocks to JavaScript. I don't think we'll have time today, but there's an AI session in there. And we'll see if we have time. There's some nice information that we can maybe share with our audience today about that.
So, Martin, while we're talking about teachers needing to assign these journeys so that their students can access them when the students log in, I would like to give a shout out to some of the students that are joining us today. We have Dominic and Madeline and Ewan. And so we are excited to get coding with them pretty soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Cami. So here, I'm going to assign this one from blocks to JavaScript. Here we go. And then I'm going to assign a few tasks. Oh, there's a little error here. It should work. I'm going to go to skills over here. And in skills, we're going to assign the simple loops here. And you can say I already assigned it. And we're going to go assign the nested condition inside simple loop. Assign over here. Same thing. And assign. Then you will have to invite your students. So there's a few ways you can invite your students. If I go to my classroom and I go all the way maybe to today's classroom, it's at the end. Let's say I want this one. There's a little code over here. So your students can log in with this code, or teachers, you can add students here by pressing the plus button. And this is all in your classroom. You can press plus students and add students individually. You can upload a CSV file, or you can copy paste that. If you have a Google Classroom or Teams for your class, you can copy paste that in your class where the students will be able to log in. So before we get playing or coding into Codingville, Kami, if you don't mind going back to our slide deck. Thanks. You're an awesome driver, by the way. Thank you so much. So we are going to be talking about Codingville. So what is Codingville? So we're going to talk about a little introduction. What is Codingville? We're going to talk about an unplugged activity in Codingville. And then what are conditional loops? We're going to be talking about that. And we're going to play a few coding missions. And we're going to talk about the new AI missions. So, what is Codingville? Codingville is a game-based website, and it's used for coding, and it's all funded by the government of Canada. So, it's really tailored to us here in Canada, and it's a nice platform where we learn to code. It's really fun and easy to use, and at the end, you can even build your own game, and that's what's fun about the new AI part, is where you can code or learn how to code with AI in a game. So you can learn about how AI is being used in various games. And to start, we can play a little unplugged activity that's called, and this one's called Simon Says. I'm just going to load my instructions here as we're talking.
All right, while you're getting those ready, we have some more students with us. Sasha's joined us, and we would love to know. I think you're probably all coming to us from the same class. We would love to know what province, what city, what town are you coming from?
This is great information. Thank you, Kami. Did you get any snow days yet, Kami?
Well, like snow days where school's been canceled? No,
Yeah.
but we did have quite a fierce storm on Monday, and we
Okay.
had like 15 centimeters and snowy and icy, and we hadn't really had any snow up till then. So now
Okay.
today, like it feels like winter, and it was minus 15 this morning. So
Okay. So
yes.
here we
Oh, go
didn't
ahead.
get any snow yet in my part of the country, but a little bit up north in
Oh,
Edmonton called
Martin,
Illegal.
our friends that are joining us, I think, are from Alberta.
Oh,
And Madeline's telling us they're from Alberta and Guthrie School. And so I imagine that our Alberta friends have a lot of snow, just like I do. I'm way down in the south of Alberta, but Alberta got pretty snowy all over the place.
okay. Oh, that's good. Getting ready for the winter season. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So here we're
Okay.
gonna play a little game of Simon Says, and we're gonna learn about conditionals. It's really important maybe for this game. Be careful because I might ask you to stand up. And if you have a device on your desk or something, please make sure you don't accidentally make it fall on the ground. We wouldn't want any devices broken this way today. So we're going to start by playing the game Simon Says. And if you don't know how to play Simon Says, if I say, for example, Simon Says, well, you'll have to do the action that I'm saying. And if I'm not saying Simon Says before the statement or before saying it, for example, I could ask Simon Says, Kami, turn on your video. So I'm just teasing Kami here because I know it's not working, but Kami would have to turn on her video. If I would say, okay, turn on your microphone, and she's not turning it on, that's perfectly fine. She's following the instructions. Okay, so this is what we're going to be doing today. Here's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to say, Simon Says, put your hands on your head. Pat your head. Simon Says, stand up. Simon Says, sit down. Simon Says, stand up. Sit down. Simon Says, put your hands down. Simon Says, march in place for 10 seconds. Simon says, sit down. So this game demonstrates a little bit how a computer can make some decisions and how our decisions are made. And for this to happen, you need the coder needs to use conditional. And for example, this morning, my daughter wanted to play some music on my phone, and she said, "Oh, Daddy, can you ask?" For example, Siri, hey Siri, can you say blah blah blah, or can you play a certain song? I don't want to say it too loud because I don't want my phone to start. But this is kind of a conditional, like you're saying what you need so that the phone understand what command that you're giving to your phone. So we don't realize it, but it's in our day-to-day lives. And so you see over here the little unplugged activity. If this is the example, but another example, if it's cold outside, well, you will choose to wear a warm jacket and a scarf. If not, cold outside, example, it is warm, we'll wear a t-shirt and sandals. So we're using conditionals like that in our day-to-day life, and we're not really always aware of it. So a little.
So, Martin, I hear what I think what you're saying is that there's lots of things that we do. We make decisions, and it's just how like a computer operates as well. So when we play Simon Says, depending on the code, you do a thing, or you don't do a thing. So if you didn't say Simon Says, then the code is broken, and we shouldn't do the thing. So we have some more friends as we go on to the next coding term that we'd like to say hi to. We have, let's see, we have Lorelei, Area have also joined us. So we've got some friends from our class. What's our next coding term?
Perfect. So our next coding term, we're going to go. So here's what it looks like when we're using Codingville. This is what the blocks look like. It's the if statement. If we get a certain color, well, color green, for example, you step forward. If it's not green, we will rotate to the right. So those are the examples here. And then in our day-to-day life, so we also have loops. So when I talk about coding or make a reflection about coding, we need to be sometimes lazy when we code. So a way to be lazy when we code is kind of using loops. So instead of saying, okay, I'm going to put it one step forward, the left step forward, to walk the right step forward, giving those instructions over and over again, or putting a block for all those instructions, it kind of gets repetitive or a bit long. So what we can do is use loops, and the loops you will see them, they're hooked up under a certain bracket. So we'll be using loops shortly. I'll get to that with you. Now we'll get to play, Cami. We'll jump into our Codingville platform. I'll show the students how to create accounts. So you can see over here, I'm in the teacher account, but I'm going to move to a student version here. I have a student one over here, and I'm going to click maybe sign up, because I'm a new student to that. Oh, no, it's not letting me. Let me try something else. Here we go. Codingville.ca, this is where I start, and sign up maybe here. There we go. This is what I wanted. So you as a student, you will have to click I'm a student here. And you have a classroom code? Yes. And this is where you will put your code. I'll put my class code.
But it's important that you don't use Martin's code. You want to use the code that your teacher gives you.
The reason why I don't want you to use my code is your teacher won't be able to see all the great work you do. There we go. So here I have to try a username. Let's say put it links, blue, password. Just trying something here. And you can say your gender. I'm going to agree over here. And you don't have to put in your full name. Maybe put in just your initials or your first three letters of your first name or things like that. So you saw that. But if I'm in a class, Cami, and you have a student called Lynx Blue, will you know who he or she or who they are? So it's really important maybe to
Well,
get.
and the other thing too, Martin, is that there can only be one user with that name in all of Canada. So if you're Martin P, there's likely another Martin P in Canada somewhere. So what I recommend is that if our the uh, symbol or the shortcut or the acronym for our school is AGH or AGS, then we say AGS Martin P or something like that, so that it's got kind of something unique to our place, but then it still has our name so
Yeah.
that our teacher can know who we are.
Oh, that's
So
a good idea.
we've got
Let's do
some
that.
students who will want to make sure that they're listening along and following the instructions for giving themselves a name. We have Aiden and Emily. Riley's joined us, Henry, Reet. So we've got lots of students joining us. Aria's wondering what we think about AI, and we're going to be talking about AI in Codingville in just a little bit here. So,
Yes,
hang-
yes, we're gonna dive into the coding part really soon. I'm gonna click on get started here, and I took your trick here. I took the first initials of the school, MM here. Oh, and you see over here, user with username already exists. Huh? If I put E for there we go, already exists as well.
that's why I mentioned that, because sometimes, what about trying to put those initials at the end, Martin? Would that work? Like if you
Maybe.
just move them from the beginning to the end?
Hmm. Well, it's not letting me do anything today. There we go. So now I tried a few things, but I really recommend that you test a few things. So we have a lot of people going on Codingville. But if you wrote something, for example, I put the 99 at the end of my name, maybe write it down somewhere so you don't forget it.
Well, and actually, that's a super important part, because there's no way to, get a lost password or anything. So teachers,
Mhm.
if your students are making their accounts for the first time right now, I would pass around a sheet of paper or walk around with a sheet of paper and have them write down both their username and their password, because you're going to want to get back into Codingville. You're going to want to keep building on your creations, and you're going to want to be able to get back in with that same username and password. So I would suggest that not only should students write that down, but I would, if I was a teacher, I'd do a little extra insurance there and make sure that I was writing it down as well.
See, I'm lucky here. I was able to remember it. So I'm pretty lucky. And maybe it wasn't working, Jamie, because I had the same password as my last name here. So that might be why here. So here it's a little video that's telling us about Codingville. We're going to skip this for now. And as a student, I'm going to go into journeys. And what's fun about it, you see over here, I can get XP points. So I get points over here. But what we're going to do here, we're going to start with the skill practice. I'm just going to showcase one of the skill practice, and then we'll dive into the AI part. So here, if we go into the skill practice, we're going to test out the simple loops over here. So if I press play in the simple loops, we have to discover the alien message. So I'm going to come over here, Cami, and I'm going to test it out just to show how the platform works.
The aliens left Robo a message below the rocks, and we need to solve the puzzles to uncover it. Print the answer to this puzzle in the empty yellow cell to uncover the first letter of the alien's message.
We heard that.
Then we'll be able to dive in and explore. Yes, sorry.
All right, we heard what I don't. Were you? If you were
So
talking at
I'm
the
go-
same time as the Codingville lady, we just heard her.
Oh no, I wasn't. I just let her
Okay,
introduce
we could hear
the
her.
task for
Okay.
today. Yeah. Oh, that's great. It means the sound of my computer is connected, so all good. I'm gonna click on continue over here, and here we have our robot, and they call him a robo, and we have the little rocks here, the from space here, and we have to uncover them. So we discover the message that's hidden over here. So the first thing that we'll have to do is move our robo all the way to the end here. And once that he's on the end, he'll uncover a message here. So that's what our instructions are saying. But I have all of those to play with. So the first thing that I need to do is to rotate my robot. And this will be under movement rotation. So I'll go into movement rotation, and it's rotate right. Compared to other platforms you see over here, there's no on start, but in the AI one that we'll do later, you'll see that there is one. So if I go to movement and rotation, so my robot's moving now, rotating, and then I click on step forward, and if I press run, you'll see what will happen. Oh, I forgot to put a few things, but I'm going to click on replay because coding is all about that. So I was just testing things here on this part. This
Important
end.
to, I think it's super important to test as we go, right? So instead of building a whole long string of code, I like to do just what you did. I build a little and see, make sure we're getting in the right direction, and then I build on that. But I like to test as we go. So I like what you're doing there.
Exactly. Cami, do you remember like now my robot's over here and needs to move all the way over there. I could put the step forward. But you remember what I said about being lazy when we code?
Well, I hope that we have a loop that's available to us in our
Yeah.
Codingville blocks over there. That's what I hope. Oh,
So
down there we do.
down there here, so I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna select the repeat here for the loop, and that's where the skill that we learned earlier about being lazy. So you see 3 blocks instead of, I lost count of how many. I'm gonna take those ones and put it in garbage, and I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 all the way to 7. And then I'm gonna test this out. I'm gonna press run over here to test that out. 1, 2, 3. Oh, oh, I was at the right spot, but I didn't do the right thing. If you're not sure what to do, you can press on the hint button over here, and you see, oh, I have to write on the cell color. So I should have a block like this. So it's telling me, okay, I should have something pink right on the cell, and then interaction or values.
There it is.
Yep. And I'm counting steps of 2 maybe. So I'm going to put 11 and I'm going to press run.
Now, Martin, I'm realizing that we didn't ask our friends that are joining us today what grade they're in. And so we'd love to know. Oh, you did it. Good job, Martin. We'd love to know what grade our friends from Alberta at Guthrie School are in. So as
Super
you're
important. Yeah.
coding along with us, you could maybe someone could let us know that.
Yeah, super important. Because you know what? We're doing this activity right now, and maybe your teacher wants to make you do something to learn more about the movement. But today we're learning here about loops and things like that. But you see, if I go on to the next mission, maybe your teacher will assign you something different. So if you want, if this is
Help Robo
explaining,
solve this puzzle to get another letter to uncover.
let's say I'm talking too much or it's not going fast enough for you, keep going as you can, and maybe I'll catch up at some point. So I'm gonna press on continue over here, and you see I uncovered the A. Same thing. I'm gonna rotate right. Sometimes what I do you see what I just did? I clicked over here. I didn't need that block right away, but I knew I was going to use it at some point. So I put it there right away. I'm going to use loops. Repeat. count 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 times. And it's the same thing. I'm going to go into the values or the user interaction right on the cell. And it's hoops up 5. So I'm going to write the number 15 over here.
So now we're practicing our skip counting, which is always important.
Yes. So as you can see, we're doing math too. Yes, we're playing a game, we're coding, but we're also doing math. There we go. We have it. And you see I'm getting some points every time. Now I have 60 XP points.
Can you do addition? Great. Help Robo complete this equation and write the answer onto the empty green cell to uncover the third letter in the message. Hint, use addition in your code block.
Sorry, Martin. I was just going to also just give our teachers a little bit of a reminder that teachers, if you are logged into Codingville on your account and you get stuck or your students get stuck, Martin's in the student view right now, but in the teacher view, right up top on the right-hand side, there's a little button that says Show Model Answer I think it's under the settings cog, isn't it, Martin?
Yes.
Martin's going to show us for us. And so if you get stuck or your students get stuck, teachers, you can always come in and take a look at what that answer should look like, what the coding should look like. So if Martin goes up there and clicks on the settings cog, I think it's under there.
Yeah, right here.
And then show model answer. So teachers, that's important for you to know that you don't have to be a coding expert. If your students get stuck and they've tried the hints and it's just not coming, as things get more and more challenging in Codingville, you can take a look at the model answer and that can help you out. Students don't have that, just teachers.
Super important, super important. Thank you, Cami. So what we're going to do is I'm not going to code this all day. You can continue this part when your teacher gives you time to use it or create it. So what I'm going to go do is I'm going to go back here. And you can see in my assignments, I already have 2 check mark. I can go back and do this part over here. If I go into journeys, there's the skill practice. There's another one here that you can try. And this one has the if statements, so red flashing light. So if we do one of those, just to show you what it is, and then we'll jump into
gather all the flashlights, but Robo.
So you can either, as soon as you're doing it, it's going to read for you. You can press this button or you can turn off the mic on your computer. It's really up to you. And then I have over here. So gather all the flashlight, but Robo wants to only keep the red ones on the cell. So again, over here, I'm going to move forward, step forward. And every time Robo is going to go forward, I'm going to repeat it 10 times and maybe go into loops, repeat 10 times and see what it does. Run. Oh, and let's say I need a hint over here. Oh, I'm missing a lot of blocks. So I said the conditional loop. So I didn't read all the instructions. I was trying to go all the way to the end. All right. So those are the blocks that I need. So I need a conditional statement if I'm going to use this. And I'm going to drop this here. If, and then there was something over here that's called the Boolean. So if I get a certain color over here, it will say, okay, pick up the flashlight. So if color value, oh, and I'm going to drag this over here.
So Martin, it sounds like you're using conditionals, just like we did when we played Simon Says a few minutes ago.
Exactly. So we're using the skill that we used in the day-to-day life, and yeah, here, get a certain color equals a certain color. Robo wants to only keep the ones on the red. So okay, if it equals yellow, I will get Robo to do an action, user interaction, draw the object. So
And
you can
what
see
is
I'm doing it really fast. I've done this lesson before. I've explored before as well. Teachers, you can look and guide your students with the kind of answer sheet or cheat sheet. Kami, you were gonna say?
Well, I was going to say one of the things that I always have to remember when I'm in Codingville that other programs don't always do is that when Robo walks over an object, he automatically picks it up. You'll notice that we haven't put any code for Robo to pick something up. He just does that automatically when he walks, and so we do have to program him to set it down. But sometimes students say, "Well, we didn't program him to pick it up," and that's just what Robo does. He likes to pick things up.
Exactly, Kami. It's a really, really important part. Really good point. So here, and we have two scenarios. That's something that I want to showcase because here the flashlights are over here. But what if we change the path over here and the flashlights are completely different? It's not yellow, green, red, yellow, red. They change the color and it's yellow, red, red, yellow, green, green. So if they change the patterns or things like that, it completely changes your answer. But the recipe has to be correct. So if I press run, you think my code is good, Kami?
Well, let's check it out.
We'll press run. I could press debug to see what Robo is doing as well. That's just almost the same thing as run. Oh, it's picking up the red ones. Whoop.
Martin, let's maybe next time, let's actually press debug because, and I'll explain why when we fix it. Oh, it says
Reorder the blocks. So it's telling me to reorder the blocks. Ah, I think if I press it over here. Yeah, if I press debug, it's repeating, step forward.
So it's going slow here, but what I like about the debug mode instead of the run mode, when we press run, the code goes off the screen. And I really like the debug mode because if you look really carefully, the parts of the code that are working or running, they highlight in yellow as Robo does them. So you can see different yellow popping up in that code. And so I really like that version because we can actually follow along and see what parts the code is reading. Whereas when we press run in Codingville, Robo just does the thing and we can't necessarily watch our code as it goes along.
So I have a mistake again. Hint, you may need to reorder the blocks or need to modify the input. So as a teacher over here, I will use my cheat sheet. Go over here and maybe go into journeys, skill practice. It's this one. Oh, info, try. Here we go.
Gather all.
And if I press, you can tell I have the right. I have too many numbers over here.
I didn't even look at that.
Yeah. So my code is correct, but I had too many numbers. So that's what is my mistake. So if I press 9 here, I'm just going to press run to see quickly if this works. And then I really want to show the AI part.
We got to get over to the AI games. There we go.
Super. So I've done this and I see the second model. If we reorder things, it works. Yes. Next mission. Got it. So you saw that sometimes just looking at
collect the two flashlights by following the.
You can go and see your students. Hey, did you count the numbers of blocks? I saw a 10 by 10 grid. So automatically I said, okay, we have to go up 10 times, but it's 9 times because I'm already on the other one. So here I'm going to go back and the AI part is hidden into the journey. So I'm going to start the journey over here. And you'll see there's a little video. I'll skip this video here. That's telling us about the journey. And if you can, you're going to have to skip all those and click on the AI part. So you see, you can skip all the tasks and go all the way to the AI. So I'm going to click on this one, and you'll see as I'm doing it, I can skip the levels, but I can't skip the information. So this one is about voice recognition. Now, the second one is about detecting object. And the third one, the third journey, is about detecting emotions. So today, we're going to use voice recognition to learn about how AI is used in our day-to-day life. So I'm going to click here. And when there's a little book, it's information that it's giving you. I'm going to click here. And we see over here, there's some information. And as I was saying it earlier, it's saying, hey, Google, or hey, Siri, or hey, Alexa, or things like that. Move or do certain things. So we're going to use that voice recognition to give commands over here. So what is voice recognition? You can see over here. You see a doctor over here that's talking to his phone. Hey, so smart speakers are being used this way. It's being used to control lights in our houses. Kami, do you have lights in your house that are controlled that way?
No, I don't have very much in my house that is AI activated.
Okay. And then for some people with disabilities, it's really easier. It makes them life so much easier. We can have, for example, the curtains that are going down or up as we're talking to them. So you can see here how our microphone or AI is working. So we say, hey, blah, 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 open a browser, turn off an alarm, save a document, turn on music. And then it's going to go into the cloud here, and it's going to perform a certain action. But because we coded those parts and we tell the cloud what we want it to do, it's going to recognize what it has to do, and it's going to open what we want. So this is a bit of how the voice recognition works. You say a command, it goes into the cloud, and because we train the cloud to do certain actions, it's going to recognize what we have to do. It's like, for example, if you have a cell phone, the more you're using it, the more you're using, for example, Siri, it's going to recognize your voice, and it's going to be working with you a lot better. So this is how it looks like when we're teaching a machine. So that's basically what we're going to do. We're going to be teaching a game. So you see over here, we're going to need a non-start button and a set speak language to English. And again, we have different blocks saying turn right, turn left. It's going to give us instructions on how to do it. So this is kind of you can take pictures or screenshots of this. It's kind of telling you what to do.
Actually, Martin, can you just go back one? There's a really important piece that I just want to say out loud here. The bottom, if you scroll to the bottom there, because we're in the game, in the journey mode today, it's actually going to give us the blocks to start off with. But one of the things that I know I got stuck on was how to actually use the voice. And I think Martin and I were doing a session the first time, and he just couldn't train me the right way. So I learned that when you're going to do the voice testing today, you hold down, you press the microphone on the screen, and you talk, and then you let go as soon as you're done talking. So you press the microphone, you say exactly the right word, you don't say anything else, and then you let go. So that's something I learned the hard way. So I wanted to just pass that along to us there. Okay.
Super important. And you'll notice, like, probably now you're in a classroom, there's a lot of noise. It might not work the best, but find a quiet corner in the class and you can train your model.
Oh, I'm excited to get trying this, Martin. Let's see.
Yes. So I'm going to go to lesson summary over here, and we're going to dive right into our lesson over here. And again, XP points just for learning or experiencing here. Again, here it's telling us how the level editor works. So this logic editor here, it's the back end of your game. So this is how the game is coded. And then the level editor, you can customize the level editor. So we'll talk about that. So it's showing us what we can do over here, and it'll guide us step by steps on how to do it as well. And you see in the logic editor, you have all the blocks. There we go. I'm just going to scroll down because I'm going to do those steps with you. You're okay with that, Cami?
Yes, and that, teachers, that would be a great thing to print if you want a step-by-step guide. So Martin's going to go to the very bottom, and is there a little green button there?
Yep, right here.
Good. Okay.
Now, so if you're doing this with other classes, you might want them to read it or see what's happening over here. Yes, right.
Cami? I would say normally you should read that carefully, but today, because you have Martin and I, we're going to do the modeling for you. But normally those instructions are really important, so you know exactly what to do step by step.
Yes. So I'm going to click on next mission here. And here we have our game over here. So it's telling us what to do. So really important over here, you see this is the logic editor, but we need to go into the level editor here. So now we have the same screen as over there. So in this project, you will create a game where Robo moves using voices, commands to avoid traps until he reaches the ring. So hint, you will require your microphone. So we'll be using your microphone. It will pop up a message. Oh, do you allow Google or Chrome to use your microphone? You have to say yes so that it works. I'm going to click on next here. And the concept that we're going to see is events, AI recognition, and the gameplay concepts. And then I'm going to press next. So here's the level editor, how it works. So you see there's a bunch of things here. We could modify this, but what we're going to focus on is the collectible over here. And we need the ring for that one. So I'm going to select the ring. And be careful. Last time I used it, I was trying to drag and drop. It's not working this way. You have to click on it and then select where you want your ring. For example, I want it over here. Or I might want one over here. It's really up to you to put as many as you want. Here we go. You put the ring over there. So it's telling you exactly how it's being done. I'm cheating a bit. I'm putting one over here so you can see a bit how it goes. So I win the challenge a bit faster this way. So I'm going to go on next here. And then it's telling me, okay, you need to go now on the logic editor. So I'm going to go into the logic editor here. And I'm going to focus on the on start here. So you see I have the step forward. I'm not going to be using this button. I don't think so. So I'm going to go into the events. And in the events, you see there's the on start. And the first thing that we need to set up, and you probably recognize it, but if I talk to the machine right now or Codingville in French, it's not going to work. We need to recognize, the machine needs to recognize the voice that we're using. So we're going to go into the AI here and set the speech language as English. And if you're in immersion or something like that, French is coming soon. We're going to have access to this in French soon. So you see there's other languages available. And then what I want to do is when I say, for example, right, I want my robot to move right. So if I have this here, I'm going to click over here again. I'm going to go into the events. When you say actions, it's in action, slide to the right. But the AI part, when you say, it's over here. When I say, for example, right, I'm going to slide to the right. So I've done the right one. Now I have to do the same thing for the left. So I'm going to go into AI again. When you say, I'm going to do the left. And remember, Cami, what I said about actions, left, when you use coding, sometimes you have to be a bit lazy. So instead of dragging, dropping all the blocks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on it, duplicate. So you see I'm way more efficient over here. I don't need the slide left. I don't need a slide left here. Now I want the up and down. Up and down. And for me, the up didn't work too well, so I had to change it the last time I used it. And backward. Action. Move forward. There we go. And sometimes you can almost put them together over here. There we go. So you can see over here, I'm doing all of those. And I can click on here. Next. If I click on the level editor, we see it over here. Now, when Robo collides with a trap, you see those famous traps, my game will be over. So I need something to code it this way. So when Robo collides, so I need a block that says when Robo collides, or over here, collides with what? With the trap. Your robot will have to go, okay, gameplay, game is over. Game over here.
Now, Martin, when we're coding in the game builder itself, this time they gave us the background, and they gave us the path, and they put the traps in for us. But you can also do all of that coding yourself in the game editor. So we're right now in the journey where they lead us through step by step. They give us some pieces to help it go a little bit faster. But wow, it's fun to make all of the game and the path by yourself too. And you can do that in Codingville as well.
Definitely, Cami. And what I usually do when I create something like that, I've used it in other platforms, I take a screenshot of my code. So then if I want to create my game, I have a little cheat sheet that I can go back and use. It's like my personal notes. So now I have something when my game is over. When Robo collects a ring, remove the object and game complete. So you see here, it's giving us step-by-steps what to do. Events. When Robo collects the ring. So you can see here it's ring, but I could have had crystals or coins. It's really up to you. I'm going to have the action or remove the object. And sometimes you have to look where the blocks are, and they're color coded. And gameplay.
I always have to open up lots of the drawers till I find the right one that I'm looking for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Game complete. There we go.
So it's sometimes students get that mixed up. Game over is you lose, and game complete is you win. So they don't sound very different, but they actually are coded to do two different things.
Exactly. But you can see that there's other buttons over here. So you can code it to have maybe scores or things like that, or move to the next level. So that's how the video games are being created. So we're learning a lot about video games today. And then we have the finish here. Click finish. Now we have the game. So if I want to play my game or create with my game, I have to press run code. Nope. So here at the little survey, I'm going to skip this part here for now. So I want to go right to it. Please, if they're asking you for a survey, if you want to take a few minutes to fill it, it's really important.
And that'll only happen, students, teachers, that only happens the very first time that you are in Codingville. And so Codingville, actually, we didn't say this part, Martin, but Codingville is sponsored by the Canadian government. They help fund Codingville so that we can help kids across Canada learn to code. And so then they want to collect statistics about how many students are coding and all that kind of thing. So that survey is actually quite important. So do pause the video and give your students a second to fill that out. Okay, that's my commercial. It's over.
Exactly. Thank you. I love it. So I'm going to press play here. And as you can see, my robo is over here. Oh, play again. There's a little glitch to it. Ah, it's the step forward. So I need to take that step forward, put it in garbage. Let's try reload. Play. There we go.
Microphone.
So here's our microphone, and there was a button, the step forward. So that's why it was recognizing that I had this step forward. So if I try it and I use the microphone, you're going to see, I'm going to say up, and I'm going to hold the microphone. Oh, see over here, it's asking me, do I want to authorize it? Yes. Sorry. Up. 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 So it's not recognizing my language. So I'm going to change the up here for maybe yes.
And that's not uncommon. As we teach systems to recognize our voice, up is such a short word, and that can happen, right? So really, you can code it to give any secret word that you want. Let's try with yes. Let's see how yes works.
I'm going to reload it to make sure it works. And click on play. If I try it again. Yes. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, I didn't win, but it worked. Okay, so if I play again, I'm going to move it to the right here. Right. 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 Okay, and now you'll notice I can't say up, up, up. For every block, I have to say it once. So my command for step forward is yes. Yes. Yes.
I think you did it.
Yay. Okay, so this would be one way to do it. But just if you want to test your code and there's too many people in the class, another way you could do it is you could use the joystick here and play. And you'll see you'll have the joystick over here. So you can try and test your game if it's really working.
So that'll help you know if your commands, your game over, if those buttons are working. It won't test your voice commands. But that is a great hint, Martin, to get to be able to see, is our game over, game complete? Do we have the right, do we have our trap and our ring? Did we line those up with the right item that we chose from the treasure chest? Excellent. Okay.
And then I can click on finish. And if I click on build, I can go and build my application and maybe share it with my friends. I can edit the code, and that's how you can kind of create your game. If I go back to the journey, because there's another one, if another one was assigned, I could go into here. I could go and do the other journeys. There's AI in 3 of those journeys, and teachers, it is into journeys. There's AI hidden in this one, and this one. If you want to quickly look, click on try. It's hidden over here.
Oh, and Martin, I was going to say, this would be a good point to also mention that in the next week or 2, there is an entire AI journey called Discover Canada that's going to be launched. And basically, the AI, instead of a robot, the AI is a drone, and you're going to fly your drone across Canada and complete all sorts of missions as you learn about Canada. So that Martin and I just got a sneak peek of that earlier this week, and that's coming out soon. So more ways to use AI.
Exactly, Cami. It's super, super exciting. We're going to have that really soon.
Okay. Oh,
so
there we go.
We're almost at the end here. So here we have a little infographic on how AI is being used for robotics, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. We have the blocks here, how they're used. Remember to allow camera and microphone for the sessions. You at the end can get a certificate as well, and it's okay to make mistakes. You're gonna keep practicing, have fun. If you want to give us feedback, please do so at that website, http //bit.ly.logicsfeedback. You can let us know how you found today's session, and we can take also a group picture. Sometimes we have this slide.
We can't take
people live. Yes, Cami?
Well, because we're with students today and we can't see them, we can't do the group picture today.
Yeah,
exactly. You and I can't. That's just that would be our teachers.
Mm-hmm.
So the teachers could take a photo of their kids and send it into Codingville to say, hey, look, we did Codingville. Anyways.
We'd love that. Would love that. Thank you, Cami. And there's more workshops coming up. You can log in to this QR code over here. You can reach tech support for Codingville at this website. And keep in mind, this is a YouTube live. You can go back and watch the recording again if you need. And thank you again for watching this today and being with us today. Cami?
All right. Good to see you, Martin. Bye-bye.
All right.
Class from Guthrie School.